What's up, beautiful people? We're trying to get everything up and running, but please stay tuned. We are doing an impromptu nights with Nicci. We will be right back. You feel me?
My name is Dwayne Barnes. I'm an actor, director, writer, and acting coach.
Morning, guys.
And after years in front of and behind the camera, I've learned something. The most powerful actors don't act, they become.
Hey, that's the son of the list. We make champions around here, son. Keep pounding. Keep on pounding. He the real deal.
Destroyer! Come on, put that pressure on them, John.
You can play a doctor, a teacher, a convict, or a rocket scientist. But if I can see you trying to act, I don't believe you. That's why I created the On-Camera Acting Instinct Lab. My job isn't to teach you how to pretend. It's to create a space safe enough for you to stop pretending. Because your intellect will try to protect you. It'll make you question the moment, rehearse the emotion, and overthink the choice. But your instincts, that's where your brilliance lives. I coach beyond the lines, beyond technique, beyond fear. We go deeper to the raw, honest truth already living inside of you and learn how to bring that truth to the lens. This fall, I'm launching an On-Camera Acting Instinct Lab with Dwayne Barnes, an intensive workshop for actors who are serious about becoming undeniable at their craft. For a limited time, I'm offering a free virtual actor evaluation. I'm offering a free 15-minute virtual chat to hear your goals as an artist. That's how we connect. Yes, AI is here to stay, as you can see, but it can never ever beat you at becoming a real, powerful actor. That is you. Let's discover your truth. If you're ready to stop showing us the character and start becoming them, welcome to the lab. Follow me on Instagram and click the link.
What up, those sexy people? Yes, I am here. I am here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Nice with Nicci. This is an impromptu episode. I was not going to come on tonight, you guys, because I'm coming back from an event and I forgot that I had this event. And I was like, oh, sugar honey iced tea. Hold on, let me move over a little bit. I'm a little far away from my mic. I was like, oh, sugar honey iced tea. I forgot that I set up this live. So welcome in. Y'all know the routine. If you're watching from Worth TV YouTube channel, WIRF TV, then please, by all means, share this live, hype this live. Hype is the new thing that we need to be doing, you guys. Let me just go ahead and take a look and see if my people are watching me on X, because, you know, I like to make sure that, you know, everybody is participating and I'm shouting out all of the people and the things. Why am I signed out of it? I think I'm signed out of it because I'm in the wrong Chrome. So guys, I just came back from a really cool event and I'm really excited to tell you all about it. But first we got to do a little bit of housekeeping. Yep, All Things Nicci is live. What's up, TikTok? I'm sorry, Instagram. I'm sorry, I'm messing up. I'm just messing up, honey. It's been another what's the good word? It's been another lemon drops night, although I only had one and I don't even think I finished it. So cheers, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be one of those nights with Nicci. We're going to try something a little different tonight as well. Okay, so we know TikTok Instagram is rocking and rolling. Let me come over here and check for TikTok and see what's happening over there, honey. because I like to make sure that I am serving my audience wherever they may be. And yeah, we got some really cool stuff to talk about, y'all. We got some really cool things to talk about. I have an idea that I want to run past y'all. Y'all my people. And you know, I have a plethora, as my friend, my sister, Faith Renee, would say. Hold on, y'all. She would be like, my friend Nicci just is always budding with ideas. She's always got ideas. Everybody who knows me knows that I always have ideas. We're going to get into a lot of really good dialogue today, you guys. Uh-oh, what's happening over here? I don't mean to do that. Can you, first of all, I hope you guys can hear me just fine. Hold on. Are we live? Yes, we are live on TikTok. Yay. Hi. Hello, TikTok. Oh, my candles aren't lit, or at least one of them isn't. You know, I like to keep the fire going. Yeah, yeah. Keep the fire going. Hold on. Did I just lose my TikTok live? Did I lose my live feed? Hold on. I didn't lose the feed, but I have tried to find the live. Hold on, you guys. Please bear with me. Y'all know how this goes. Hold on. If you're coming in, joining us on Worth TV YouTube channel, then please make sure that you guys hit the like button. This isn't an impromptu live. This was actually a very much a planned live. Okay, I am live on TikTok. Okay, there we go. This was very, hi TikTok. Hi. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. I'm cheersing off of water right now because yes, I did have cocktails. So guys, I'm coming back from a really cool, oh wait, you know what? I got one more platform I got to add. Hold on, you guys. I got one more little platform, not little platform, but I'm going to add them anyway. You know, they be playing. But I'm going ahead on and I'm going to bring Instagram in on this conversation as well. Why? Because I believe that everybody should be able to come in and party with us because this is what we're doing. We're having a little party. And I'm sorry I'm not all the way prepared, y'all. But we's here. We's here. Welcome to an impromptu episode of Nights with Nicci. And I'm going to put on a little bit of lip chap is what we're going to call it. I'm not going to brand it, but if you know the packaging, then you know that it is that girl. Hey, y'all. Hey, everyone. Hi, everybody. What's up, Insta? I see y'all. Come on in the room. Come on in the room, as my good friend Funky always says in his intro. So, guys, let me start off by saying I hope all of you, everybody watching, is having a really great evening. I know that this is late, but we are grown people. So I hope it's not too late for y'all. But because I had planned this live, I said to myself, I said, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to go live because I was supposed to be live yesterday and I had to cancel that because I had a meeting. And I know that I got a bunch of a crazy week. So thank you guys for just bopping in impromptu. Again, if you're watching me on Worth TV, YouTube channel, please, please, please hit like and please hype it up and all of the things. And thank you in advance, TikTok, for giving your girl gifts and all of the above and whatnots. Instagram, I see you. Thank you so much. I thank you. Green is like my new fave. I'm a green girl now. Green just represents as much as I be going, it represents calm. I feel like I'm in a very, calm. Doesn't mean I'm stress free, but internally, I feel like I'm in a much calmer space in my life for a lot of reasons. I think mostly because I was working on survival mode for so long, and it was interesting. I was watching a clip and they were talking about caregiving, and they were talking about Dolly Parton and the fact that I didn't know this, but she was a rest in peace. First of all, I'm sorry. I just went into talking about Dolly Parton. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton. She was just such a beautiful, talented, always smiling, always saying something positive. That good old school, you know, just pedigree, creative, and talent. So I wish her family and her loved ones the very best. Life is short, and we discover every day how short it is. And also, I'm sending prayers and condolences to all of the people who were affected in Nepal from the, I don't know if it was a river that broke a levee. I don't know what it is, but, my prayers to all of those people. I saw that this morning and it was just devastating. I thought it's so funny because my husband was like, I thought it was AI. And it's crazy because things are really affecting people out here. And the fact that we have to second guess and question whether or not it is artificial intelligence is cray cray. But let's do a little roll call. All right, Sea Breeze, I see you. What up, Sea Breeze? Yes, we on tonight. I'm a little late, but better late than never. The BPM life is good to see you. Yes, I'm here. Enhanced simplicity. Enhanced simplicity. I just thank you. Thank you for being here. And you got a notification. Good. Maybe the notification was there because I set it up a little early, which is why I was like, let me get on this live. Cause I went out to an event. I went out to Brandy's daughter, Sy'Rai's listening party, or it wasn't a listening party. It was just a intimate gathering of people to listen to her music. And boy, oh boy, we're going to get all off into that. That's why I was like, let me come on in here and come on in here and come on in here. But I just got short story is Sy'Rai gets it from her mama. You know what I mean? I know, her dad might have had something to do with it as a musician, whatever, but incredible. Ubiquitous. I see you. It is so good to see you in here. Y'all don't see the hype available. Maybe the hype is just available for Premiere videos or whatever, but it shows up on my Premiere videos. So if you don't see the hype available, that's fine. But just please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. The food at the event, right? YouTube is here. How was the food at the event? I didn't even get any of the food at the event, but I did have a lemon drop and it was great. It was great, 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 great. It was so good, you guys, to see so many people that I've just known for so many years. J Rock, what's up? Be careful sharing your ideas. Remember what happened last time you left an idea behind respectfully. Right. No. See, here's the thing. We sharing ideas as we are implementing them. You know what I mean? So that, you can't stop a thief, right? A thief is going to steal, right? But you can expose them. You know what I'm saying? And, at the end of the day, in this content era, just put it out. So this is something that we're just going to throw out there, which is why I talk about it now, because again, we're not going to turn this into a rehashing of, but I wanted to be clear because a lot of people say, be careful sharing your ideas. Remember what happened when you shared your idea the last time, right? Which is true statement. But let me just kind of clarify something. So again, so we're clear in Hollywood in the past, it ain't like this today. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. In the past in Hollywood, you have to share your ideas, right? In order to get a budget. And even today, right? It's not just in the past. You know what I mean? People who just want, to sell ideas and get ideas made. A lot of times they will get a budget from big Hollywood film company, big Hollywood studio, big network. They'll get a budget from them and then they will produce their idea. But the network obviously invests the money. So the network, therefore, what class owns the IP, right? So in this instance, in my case, it wasn't just a matter of me sharing my ideas or leaving my ideas out there for people to take. Number one, everything I did was copyrighted, right? So when you copyright your IP in the past, right? And hopefully in the future again, but when you copyright your IP, it belongs to you. So people can't take it. I mean, you could publish it, you could put it out to the world. It was already a play, right? It was already a musical play. So, and the other thing is I left copyrighted materials with the top of the food chain at the company I was pitching. And I was referred to that person by an attorney. So this wasn't just out there just frivolously sharing all of my ideas and I shared an idea and it got taken. This was a protocol going straight to the top, no middlemen, no people in between, just me from my lawyer to the head of the company and a copyrighted idea that was already on the DVD, and still there was no protection. All that to say, there really is no protection from people doing what happens to so many. Let's just put it that way. So the best thing you can do for yourself, and I'm going to get into, there are so many layers to what happened tonight, right? Because I almost wasn't going to go. And then like I went down there and I was like, damn, I didn't know where the place was. So I kind of started feeling like I was getting lost. And I was like, oh Lord, I'm too old. I just got to go home. And I'm so glad I didn't. But short story is, do the thing. We get so caught up in, we need to find a network, we need to find a producer, we need to find a this, we need to find a that, we need to find a budget, we got to find, just do the thing. Just find the people, find the creatives, find the filmmakers, find the actors, find the writers, find the tribe, find the people and do the thing, right? And then distribute the thing to the people. So the through line for tonight was, and I'm gonna get into the Brandy situation. Yes, I saw my baby Brandy. I love my Brandy. Y'all know I've been knowing Brandy. I brag about it all the time. I've been knowing Brandy and Ray J since they was itty bitties. And shout out to their amazing, beautiful mother, Sonia, and their father, Mr. Norwood. Love the family. Have known them forever. But anyway, tonight, let's talk a little bit about tonight. So I wasn't gonna go because I got so much stuff to do, and I was supposed to be live with y'all, right? But needless to say, me and Aaron and Lex like, you know what, let's make it a girls' night. And outside of that, also, let me just say this. Hey everybody, come on in. Oh, come on in. Yeah, come on in, y'all. We went and played tennis yesterday. We had a little, we're starting to, like, one of the things that I'm committing myself, I know I'm all over the place. I'm gonna get back to the party and the through line and the reason I want to go into the Brandy stuff too. And then I'm going to talk about the comment section. We're going to get into that as well. But I was feeling sore because I was playing tennis. And let me say this, I just have to shout this out before I forget. Thank you guys for the likes and all of that other stuff. We played tennis at Piedmont Park. It was awesome. Just trying to get into the space of, I've always been a girl in the gym and working out, but I'm like, I need to switch my workout routine up a little bit. I'm always in the gym and on the treadmill and on the bike and on this and then third. And my sister, Erin Jackson, first of all, they come from a family of brainiacs and athletes and business people, and they're just really good pedigree. Smart. I really lucked up with my group members who I love dearly. We have a sisterhood, and just really grateful that I have these women to continue this legacy. Needless to say, Erin plays tennis every day. She is serious about tennis. I have such a respect after that one lesson I had yesterday after not playing tennis for 11 years, probably 25. Here, a little tidbit. The last time, well, Brandy and I used to play when she was younger, right? So maybe it's 20-ish, whatever, like when we moved here to Atlanta. But the last time I would took it seriously playing tennis, I used to play tennis with Kenya, and when we lived in LA, and, I've told the story, we used to be besties, and Kenya was like, Nicci, we should take lessons, we should play tennis. So a few times here and there. Outside of that, I did not remember my body, my muscles, nothing remembered what is required to run back and forth on that tennis court. I thought I was in really great shape. Everything was sore, but that good sore. My butt was sore, my quads was sore. I pulled something in my calf. Anyway, my shoulders, my hand, and then Lex was like, yeah, me too. Shout out to anybody out here who goes to the tennis court. I believe Toya from Married to Medicine is a real avid tennis player as well. Y'all, listen. Y'all get the real. I told Aaron, I texted Aaron today. I said, sis, you the real MVP. So we are exploring new and exciting things to do, outdoor activities, getting some vitamin D. And I encourage everyone to do the same thing, because outside of just what we do on stage and rehearsing and preparing for shows and stuff like that, We just really do encourage each other in our individual businesses. Alexis has Pinked, which you guys have seen us in the Pinked, Pinkt, stuff. Go visit that. Erin is just all around dope. Erin does everything, but Erin's a little more low key in the social spaces and whatnot. And I'm just grateful we have a team, and grateful that we've committed to like getting out and getting vitamin D and just being positive and connecting and playing. That's the whole thing. So play with Brownstone. Come out and play. Anyway, guys, tonight was really great. I was invited by a few of my faves who are just, I've watched them evolve. Shout out to Corey Love and Von Alvarez and Tim, and just such a great group of young Black men who are really, I've watched Jakeem, right? So I want to say, hi, Victoria, it's good to see you. Yes. We are here. We have things to discuss. I was not going to do this thing here tonight. Hi, Instagram. I love y'all too. Oh, you about to move to Atlanta? Be careful, because I learned tonight. I'm spoiled. Most of the time, I'm in the passenger seat. Lord have mercy, these people out here driving. And I ain't got to, look, ATL folks will tell you, the traffic and the drivers that got to get where they going, be careful. So be blessed. But yeah, that's the whole thing. But tonight, I want to share something before I get into I'm coming back, you guys, from Sy'Rai, Sy'Rai is the correct, pronunciation, I believe, who is Brandy, my beloved Brandy. Oh my God. Brandy Norwood's daughter, who is a incredible young, y'all, when I tell y'all, but I'm gonna get into that. But before I get into that, I want to talk about how meaningful the night was outside of the Brandy and Sy'Rai of it all, which was magical, and I love it. But Jakeem, who was my assistant on R&B Divas, Von Alvarez, who was also an assistant on R&B Divas, I believe he may have been Selena's assistant or did some work with her or whatever. And just watching from Dre Crenshaw, who worked with Kiki, to Corey Love, who was really close with Maya and worked with her in that capacity, and then went on to The Real, and just, Tim, and like all of these, to see these people, when I see people that, and then we were talking to this incredible makeup artist, and he mentioned Painted by Jeremy. And I just think back on when we talk about R&B Divas, which we're going to get into that a little bit tonight, because I'm going to get into the comment. Oh, I'm going to get into the comment section. She's going to get into the comment section. It's all about engagement, honey. So we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to introduce this new segment that is going to become the new show. Oh, yeah. And it is, I'm so excited about it. And hopefully y'all are too. But if y'all not, y'all know me. I'm going to do it anyway. And hopefully make y'all excited. But anyway, to see these amazing young people, younger than me, to see how they've evolved into running their own companies and running their own businesses and working with the best of the best, and everybody knows them, now. And I distinctly remember having conversations with a couple of them, very do not give up. This is the dues you have to pay. Keep pushing. One day we're going to be working for you. Because I've seen that manifest so many times. I've seen the young person, the young PA, and honestly, listen, I know y'all be like, this bitch always getting on the live talking about who she helped and who she did and what she did and blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's hard to tell a story and have it be somewhat inspiring and quite truthful without dropping a few names here and there. So I'm going to do it because I think there is some relevance there. Derek Blanks is another person who I worked with and I introduced him to a lot of dope people who he went on to. And this was when he was just getting started. And Derek will tell you, I think one of his first celebrity shoots, I had a little something to do with, and then it just continued from there. We worked consistently, but Derek was the original photographer for Soul Kids, the R&B Diva sizzle reel that many of you have been able to watch. Derek Blanks and his brother Eric shot that. Like we've been like this for a minute. You feel me? I think I introduced Derek. I want to say I introduced Derek to Fantasia and just whatever. Anyway, I feel like I'm name dropping, but I'm just sharing the connections. And the reason I'm sharing the connections tonight, right, is because to see these young people who I distinctly, like I said, remember just pouring, and I wasn't like, I'm not trying to take responsibility for nobody's journey or their path of their success, because I believe we are all given free will to make decisions based on a lot of things that people in our lives have told us. So your decision to make the right moves is far more impactful than anything I could ever say to you or any words of encouragement I could pour into you. It is your decision to receive them and to act on it, or to do this or that, and to see so many of them just bust up in their companies, and just like to see everything that Jakeem has been doing with his company, like, helping homeless people and getting, hi Lamar, I see you on Instagram today. You ain't on YouTube today. You guys, please hit the like button on YouTube. It lets the algorithm know that we are on here having a great conversation, and it shares it with more people so the party can be more fun. But yeah, I'm not going to go on and on and on about what I did and who I helped and who I looked out for. But there are a lot of people that I'm so proud to say I've been able to say a positive word or two, or provide an opportunity for, or provide a job for, or provide a whatever for, that have just really just done so well for themselves. And I'm so grateful to God. If there is one thing, ooh, Lord have mercy. I got a little emotional, baby. Because if there's one thing in real life that I am truly grateful for, it is seeing people succeed and come up from the bottom, or the proverbial what many people would view as the bottom, come up from the, just excel and evolve and grow and pay attention to wisdom and execute on being a decent person, and not sell their souls and get it the quick and dirty way. And it's crazy because I say this, I literally, I've shared this before, I literally had like, when I got my record deal, I'm the person who had like my whole, I'm not going to look at the comments yet, y'all, because then I'll get sidetracked and I'll start deviating and attention to be in 5 different places. But when I first moved to California, I invited and had like most of my family, cousins, sisters, whatever, living with me, because I wanted so much to just share this opportunity, right? Anybody who ever tells you, listen to me, Linda, anybody who ever tells you I'm selfish or I am, well, these days, if they tell you she's about self, they may be on to something. But just as a general rule, I'm very much a giver and very much a person who wants to see people succeed and wants to share opportunities and try to hook people up and give people. And sometimes it comes off as controlling and you should do this and I see this for you and you should whatever. So when people who I wanted that for my family. I was telling the family story first. I wanted that for so many people in my immediate family. And it's kind of like the athlete who tries to bring the hood with him, the entertainer who tries, but not just me, a lot of us in this industry, a lot of entertainers or successful people, period. A lot of times they try to bring the hood with them. They try to bring the family with them. They try to bring, the people who were riding with them when they had nothing. And a lot of times that ends up being, a bad decision. Right? I've watched it play out over and over again because people become codependent on your inspiration or motivation in their lives. And then when you finally realize that you have to take a step back and focus on yourself, and you can't just let them live with you rent free, pay for dinner every time you go out, have them all high VIP rolling up to BIG, when the, like Oprah says, when the brakes and whatever the hell go out on the limo, it's crazy. And if I could advise young entertainers, I don't care how much money you got, I don't care how famous you are, I don't care how many followers you got. If I could encourage them as an auntie who's been there and done that, one thing that doesn't change that much over the years is the character, personalities of people. You got your hanger-ons that's been around forever. You got your needy needs. You got your back and gonna ride with you until, the opportunities run out, then the loyalty's out the door. You know what I mean? So that doesn't change. The way that this entertainment industry is built, how music is distributed, how many streams somebody bought for this artist, or how much of this they did for that one, all of that shit can change. People, their character, their intentions, their motivations for wanting to be around you. When you are a gifted one, or the person in your family or in your friend group who was blessed enough or lucky enough to have a level of success that the world knows, it comes with a different kind of responsibility. How I got on all of this, I don't know, but I'm going to bring it home. I promise I'm going to land this plane. Comes with a different set of responsibilities. And I wish that I could encourage more young, creative people out here to slow the down. Understand. That's why I keep fame is a vapor. Bismarcky got vapors. Back then they didn't want me. Back then, wait, what was it? What was it? Oh, what's the song? Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me. Is that how the song go? Anyway, but it's a whole bunch of songs about it, right? Know that it just happens. Whatever century, whatever it is. I was listening to, was it the OJ's Unity? We all need unity. I was listening to that on my way to the little event or whatever. And I keep saying little event because it was a nice event. But, your little car, your little house, it doesn't mean I'm minimizing anything. I have to watch my mouth. I know y'all know. My point is just, we've been singing the songs about what we need in our community, how we improve our community, how the people should come together, how whatever. When you are an artist, much responsibility comes with that territory. When you take the time as an artist to pour into people and members and folks in your community, people you know and love and people you do not, it is a privilege. At the same time, it could be a curse if you don't know how to navigate it. And the most rewarding experience for many artists, I'm about to land the plane. I know I was talking about the PAs and the folks who started off as PAs and now have their companies and now working in this industry doing well. The most rewarding experience that artists and creatives that try to pour into people in various ways can have is to see someone who actually received it, who put it to work, and you can look back 15, 20 years later and be like, damn, you did that shit. Wow. And for them to say you played a small role in what I've been able to accomplish in my life and my career is just the dopest shit ever. And that is the thing that I thank God most for, being able to do what Michael did for me, what so many other, Latifah did for me, so many other people pouring into those who are not quite there yet and want to get there and teaching them how to fish. And, that's how we get to where we need to get to. We pour more into people who will pay attention, will listen, will execute, be more proactive than reactive, and build a team of leaders and winners. Because we get so caught up in the bullshit. Are we after 11 o'clock? I better be careful because the algorithm don't be liking, will not be cussing. But we are so caught up in the bullshit. And I often get discouraged. Which is why I was kind of like, I love Brandy and I love Sy'Rai. I think she's so dope. But I'm getting lost. I'm this, that, and the third. And almost didn't. Okay, so then there's another side to this. And then I'm going to get to the other stuff, right? So I see young, amazing people that I poured into or sown into in my career. R&B divas, provided some opportunities for those people and to see them thriving. Then I look up and I realize that two of the people who were responsible for breaking Brownstone's biggest records were at this event. Shout out to Al Manderson and Sharita Britnum. When I walked up and I saw Sharita and Al, and they both, it's crazy because I don't know what it is about it just, they look fantastic, healthy, don't look their age. Sharita about to be 70, it's crazy. And we had such a just wow moment. They poured into me. These were people who were at Sony working our record at radio. This was a time, y'all, when you didn't just put a record into a streaming platform and it was just all over the world. Let me tell you something about how important it is to respect the architects of this shit right here. There's no way around what people like Sharita and Al Manderson and street teams all over America and in Europe and other. There's no way around the work that went into breaking artists and breaking records and connecting with radio programmers and convincing them this is a great record, this is a great song. If it had not been for people like Sharita and Al and Kathy Carroll and Cliff, oh my God, Lamont Bowles, shout out to Lamont Bowles, for those of you who don't know who Lamont Bowles is. Lamont Bowles was one of the first that I know of or that I can remember DEI people in the US, as far as I'm concerned. Epic Records became Epic Black. That whole urban thing, maybe he didn't coin urban. Maybe he didn't, I don't know. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But to work within a structure of a company like Sony, right? And to come in as a black man, as the president of a company and say, oh, no. We're not just epic. We're Epic Black. And put it on t-shirts and hoodies and hats and sweaters and shit. And let the world know that this is about black music. This is Epic Black. And he put this incredible street team together and was like, I need this record to go platinum. I need everybody to be spinning this. And you hear Lamont on the phone going in and going hard. And I remember Lamont told me one time, I went to a barber to get my hair cut. This is what I mean about artist development. If you don't know who Lamont Bowles is, then, do your research. I remember Lamont Bowles said to me, we did, I forget what show it was. It was some show, y'all. And I had my hair cut short, like the pixie, like it is now, right? But I went to a barber and he gave me this like crew cut fade military, like very, very. Lamont was like, come here, Nicci, come here. What's going on with your hair? You got a TV appearance and what is that? And I was like, shit, like I just went to this barber and let me tell you something. You too big to have your hair. I was like, what the fuck? What? No, that's not the look. Your cut, your such and such and such, that's cool. But you need to, and it's so funny because I just busted out laughing because I'm like, finally somebody who just said it and didn't, in my face, and said it in a way that was like, your appearance, how you come off, if you're going to rock that shortcut, if you're going to not do the thing that all the girls are doing, then you got to make sure when you step out, your presentation is top tier. You don't go get no crew cut. Like he went in, it was so funny. And if you know Lamont, you kind of had to you took what he said seriously, but you kind of had to laugh through that shit. But I appreciated the big brother straight away. And Al tonight was telling the story about an opportunity I had. Tina Marie was on one side, Shaka Khan was on another side. They passed me the mic and I was like, oh no, you won't pass it to me. And Al was like, what the fuck did you do? Like, it's crazy. Sharita, just again, to be in a room tonight that I almost didn't make, to see people that I've poured into thrive and succeed, to see the people that are the reason I'm able to be here with some sort of a name talking to y'all, the reason why If You Love Me is as successful of a record as it is, because people cared and they went through artist development and they was in the trenches and they told you what the hell they had to say. And it's crazy because they worked with Sharita and Al, and the same people who worked with us worked with Brandy as well to break Brandy's record. And to see them there now working Brandy's Baby's record, working Sy'Rai's record, and y'all, okay, I'm just gonna say this. That baby, Sy'Rai, Brandy's child, sings down her album. The vibes of her songs are so dope. It feels like her own identity. She is stunning. She is a 6-footer like us, or close. Because it was like, oh my God, you know, me, Aaron, and Lex are all the same height. So normally we have to kind of crop down so the people ain't out of frame when they posting the pictures, right? Just wonderful spirit, humble spirit, amazing voice. Yes, Brandy was there. Yes, I had a chance to say hello to my baby. I love you, Brand. I love you, Brand. I love you, Brand. I'm really excited about just being able to connect more and you know, whatever. That's a whole nother thing. But please download her album. She's going to radio, I think, either tomorrow or the next day. And just to see her going through the same system with some of the same record people. Y'all, it's been over 30 years. And guess what? As much as technology and streaming and all of the things make it easy for you to just put something out there, the fact that Brandy has her baby and you doing it the longevity way, because I get it, people streaming and stuff everywhere, but something in my spirit tells me that terrestrial radio, I probably didn't say that right, but regular radio is not going anywhere. Like I feel like mankind would be on the verge of folding before like radio went anywhere. And I pray that what I'm saying is true. And I think that what we're experiencing with this new, you know, A to the I to the era is going to really make us appreciate the work of real creatives and artists and what it feels like and what it sounds like to hear shit on the radio. You feel me? It's so funny. Somebody came up to me today and was like, you ever thought about doing radio? I've always wanted to do radio, which is why I get on these lives and I talk for so long with my long-winded ass. Because I'm really supposed to have a radio show on somebody's radio station. So somebody who got a radio show, come holler at your girl. Even though Diary of a Diva would still remain a podcast here, but whatever. So long story short, it's crazy how, and it's funny because as I was on my way out the door to go to the event tonight, I saw a grasshopper, not a grasshopper, a praying mantis, I believe. And it was the symbolism of, I believe in little moments like that, whatever. And yeah, I'm just really glad. I just kind of took a step back and stepped outside of what was happening in the room and like, was like, wow, that's 3 people that I watched start in this industry. Actually more if you include Brandy, because like I said, we did a play twist before any of us had deals back in the day. But at least, you know, so shout out to Vaughn Alvarez and Corby and Tim and all the amazing people, Sy'Rai and Brandy and everybody. Let's get into the messy shit. But yeah, I feel really blessed to be able to stand and look from the perspective of having been that young, geeked up artist out here, like really trying to like get a record deal and get a record on the radio and seeing the people. Please hit like, you guys, as y'all coming in. Please just take a moment to hit the like button. Please take a moment to share the live if you can. And we're going to get into some R&B Divas tea and maybe a little update here and there. And I'm going to tell you guys about this new little situation that I'm finna introduce And I think that my people are gonna love it. And we're gonna get I'm gonna give y'all a little taste of what it's gonna what it's gonna be. Oh, should I tell y'all that? Okay, no. Let me stop. Rewind. Never mind. Never mind. Pick your battles. Pick your battles. So ladies and gentlemen, I reposted the very first episode of Diary of a Diva. I reposted the very first episode of Diary of a Diva. Please hit like, share, you guys. Remember, I'm coming in from a very nice event with some really beautiful people. And I wasn't going to do this, but I remembered, damn it, I set that live up. So since I am here super late on the live, at the very least, y'all can hit like so this thing could spread out to a few more of these people out here in these streets. So let's talk about, let me before I get into the messy business, right? Before I get into the messiness of it all, because I'm going to get into the messiness of it. We're going to talk about, I'm going to address some specific comments, and I'll explain why as well. But I want us to really understand how important, especially y'all, because this is really about the audience, the people who are engaged here. I am doing this nightly live, this R&B Divas specials, building this universe, the Diary of a Diva podcast, right? I'm doing these things because I understand full well what is happening in the entertainment industry. I have been, if you guys hear snoring, it's my dog, not my husband. I have been seeing this thing unfold for quite a number of years, right? And I can tell you pretty much without question, if you haven't already started to see it, that how we connect and how we reach each other is going to play a very, very, very major role in how our community manages what we are seeing happen every single day in the media and in the press. We've seen all sorts of things that we know ain't right. I won't watch the whole video, but some of us saw what happened in Detroit when the woman opened two black women opened the door going into a liquor store for a young 15-year-old demon and held it for him as they were coming in, and they did nothing. He just randomly turned, and both of them, one gone, the other, I hope she's still, okay, but wasn't doing so great. And all the things start to, we start to talk about all the things, the mental health of it all, it's a demon, it's a this and that and the third. Then you hear, same city, my hometown, women in the Dollar Tree or Dollar General, and some young kid grabs a knife and unalives this lady in the middle of a store. He grabs it off of a shelf. I don't know. And then we hear about who's, these people that we're finding, these young men and these young women and these people, all, our folks, Nolan, all of the things, right? Imagine not having a way to connect about it. Imagine we already have to come up with other ways of explaining what we're talking about. The unalive, the pow, like we're back to elementary school, right? 5 and 6 year olds. I ain't gonna talk too heavy now because I like being in the algorithm. I need to be in the algorithm. That's the other thing, right? We need to be here. But we see the limitations and we see the people with millions of followers that are not able to reach those people the way they should be able to reach them. I'm going to land the plane, I promise. While we still can, we have to connect. We have to subscribe. We have to figure out how we continue to share information, share ideas, entertain, uplift, inspire, empower, because as it stands, we don't own these things we're communicating through. We don't control. We can get mad. We can roll your eyes. You can stump your feet. But this you show ain't going to be. Listen. We are given tools that may come with a price tag at some point when we talk about technology and what it's doing and how it's affecting humanity and all of the things. But there was an announcement today about all the many of the major record companies, and we just had this conversation a couple days ago on this here live. But there was an announcement made about all the big boys that have signed on to this AI company, and they are, a lot of those companies are companies that have catalogs of a lot of us, yeah, and control those catalogs and that music and what they allow these bots and technology to learn from or utilize or leverage. We don't control that, right? We just don't. That's just the cold hard reality of it. You also are not going to put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's here. Right now, there is a window where we can build, where we can learn, where we can leverage, where we can own, where we can connect, where we can build community. Where we can share valuable information. I was looking at a clip. One of the actresses who worked with Country Wayne, she got some oregano or something. I don't know if y'all saw it. And inside the oregano that she got from a regular store, there's a bunch of maggots crawling around in it. And she hadn't even opened it up. Everything is kind of, when we look at the flood that just brushed through Nepal and ended, everything is just kind of collapsing around us. And we are so consumed with attention economy, but attention focused on nothing that holds real, actual generational value or things that we can pass down to future generations to make sure that when we are not here, I'm going to land the plane, to make sure that when we are not here, the legacies of our greatness still remain. Because are our great-grandchildren and great-grandchildren's children, are they going to talk to you about, are they going to share the stories of people like Sarah Vaughan? I mean, is what Billie Holiday sang about when she sings the song Strange Fruit, is that going to have meaning? Is that going to have value? Is that going to live somewhere? Is what we're in the middle of a Tupac trial. Does anybody care that C. Dolores Tucker tried to prevent both Tupac and Biggie and any other rapper that was a victim of gang violence, tried to prevent that from happening by putting some kind of regulation on how far you could go with that shit? Now we see clearly the impact of what our culture has been fed through human beings, not through technology, not through artificial intelligence, but through human beings who have allowed the narratives to filter through and reach millions of generations of people. Are we clear of how much damage our community will suffer if we don't have the ability to communicate with one another, share information that is important to all of us, and also connect, build community, and have ownership in this new innovation that right now there is a window of opportunity for us to learn how to leverage for the benefit of our communities. If it feels like I was kind of talking around in circles a little bit about that, hopefully y'all caught on to what I'm talking about, because you got to be careful about how you say things and how direct you are and how, whatever. And people, we about to get into that, don't really like. That's one of the things about me that certain people really can't get into, is how just I'm going to say what I got to say. So it's really difficult for me to beat around the bush and not just be direct about things. But I understand that sometimes being too direct means that the OODA, the owners of the algorithm, might be like, look, you just broke through this motherfucker. We'll take it back. And we don't want that, because the information that you're getting on Diary of a Diva, hopefully some of the information you're getting here with me tonight, just in general, hopefully you can, anyway, okay. Learn it. I see a lot of artists, it's terrible, don't do it, don't participate in it, it's bad, it's whatever. These announcements are coming more frequently. Dr. Dre recently said what he's doing with A to the I to the, don't get left behind. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's talk about the comment section. What comment section say you? What are you talking about? The comment section, Nicci. I'm finna show y'all right now. Hold on. Okay, boys and girls. Y'all can't see it on Instagram, but y'all can still hear me. So we are about to start a new segment on Nights with Nicci, and it is going to be called the VIP comment section. This will be a place where we, the people, who are the subject of much of the commentary, have the opportunity to have a rebuttal. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, I've been feeling real gully here lately. I've been feeling like letting people asses have it. I've been feeling like just going in periodically. And my friend was like, who has nothing to do with the entertainment industry, ain't in it, don't want no parts of it, ain't trying to be all up in the videos dancing. Most of the people that's closest to me ain't up in here trying to do none of that. Let me put the flyer up for the show. Let me put the flyer up for our new segment. I mean, it ain't the whole show. Hold on. Let me see if I can reduce this so y'all can see part me and part the flyer. Here we go. We're going to put it over here on Bob's side. So she said, why don't you go in? And I was like, here, I'll take it down. That's ridiculous. It's blocking. Y'all know what it is. It's called the VIP comment section. I was like, what do you mean? Why don't I go in? And I was like, why don't I? I was like, oh, because, we've been taught as celebrities and influencers to just take the high road. When they go low, we supposed to go high, right? Don't even dignify it with a response. I'm like, but sometimes it just feels so good to be like, yo, mother, you know what I mean? And it's just a release. And it's not so often that celebrities get a chance to just clap back in a tasteful, educational, informative way. She was like, and I said, and the other thing is that I don't want to, even though I don't care that much, I don't want to limit opportunities, general market opportunities, who don't get the whole shade and clapback stuff or whatever. And she was like, girl, ain't that all they do on the Housewives? And all of them got endorsements. I was like, oh my God, there you go. I'm like, my non-messiest friend is basically giving me an idea. And I asked her, I was like, do you want, because I'd already kind of spoke this out, and I'd already kind of started doing it because, Instagram has the feature that will allow you to highlight somebody's comment, and you can give them the platform. So listen, y'all, for years, athletes and entertainers and celebrities, media personalities have had to endure the wrath of like the dreaded comment section, right? This is a place where trolls and bots and keyboard thugs and critics, they can throw insults, they can spread rumors, they can put out misinformation, they can have toxic commentary, and public figures just kind of have to be like, I'm going to rise above it. And that shit pisses you off sometime. And sometime they catch you on the right day. I remember Sam Jackson was saying that, like, sometimes they go in. So this is an era, and this is the business part of it. So it's not just me like being like, ooh, yeah, I should let people asses have it, even though in a weird, crazy way. Okay, maybe I'm a little messy, but I'm just responding, right? But this is an era where engagement is king, queen, and everything in between, y'all. In engaging, they even tell you to engage in the comments with your customers. And technically, if you watched R&B Divas, and I mean, they what they mean, I think, is, well, engage with your customers. So did you like that new gloss, or did you like that? How was that outfit for you? Did those shoes fit well? I think they mean it from that perspective. Or was the food delicious, right? That's what they mean, I think, when they say engage with your consumers or your audience. So technically, if people watched R&B Divas or watch this or watch that, and they're engaging with me, they're kind of my customers, right? But it's not just about me. It's about all celebrities who want an opportunity to clap back, to go in and to correct the record, which is very important, to laugh, to vent, and to get a few things off their chests. So I'm going to be the test subject on Nights with Nicci. I'm not going to do it tonight because I'm not going to do a very long-winded, crazy live. I'm going to address one or two just to give y'all a little idea. Hold on. I gotta get this other phone because I got to address them from this phone to get you guys an idea of what you'll be getting. But I think that this is the opportunity for people to get a chance to understand, fact versus fiction, rumors versus reality gossip, right? Whatever, and people being gossiped about. I don't even have to go on my phone because, again, I really, really, really am not going to stay on for 2 hours tonight, as much as I love and appreciate each and every one of you. But I just think that it is so, please hit like as you guys come in so the algorithm knows that you are interested in this content. I just think that it's so cool to do our new show, which is called the VIP comment section. It doesn't start mess, but it's definitely going to call out the messenger. And I think it's time for some of these people who want to be all up in the comments saying what they got to say to understand what it feels like to be in the spotlight, to understand what it feels like to have celebrities say what they got to say too. Because, give me a break. We're all human. Now, I don't expect this to get nasty. I don't expect it to get disrespectful. I really hope that this segment, which eventually will become a series on the Worth TV YouTube channel and maybe Divine Nine streaming platform, depending on how clean we can keep it. But it's just something I created as a fun and unfiltered alternative to traditional celebrity commentary. Because, there it is, right? So this series this segment, which will become the series, will put the mic and the monetization opportunity, which is a big deal here. Hello, Craig. The opportunity to monetize your name and your reputation, which is bringing monetization for the people who are talking sugar honey iced tea about your ass. Give you the opportunity to monetize it and put it back in the hands of the people who influence what created the story and what created the conversation in the first place, right? So we're going to test it right here on Nights with Nicci. I won't do it tonight. I may try it this weekend, but I will address a couple key things. So I posted the Monifa Diary of a Diva. and reposted it because we did the conversation in 2024, right after we did Urban One Honors, and it was the very first Diary of a Diva conversation, and the series has really been doing. You guys, thank y'all so much for showing up for Diary of a Diva. I don't even know what, baby, I don't even know what else to tell y'all. I don't even know what else to tell y'all. Thank you for showing up for this Diary of a Diva series. This is about preserving, or me doing my part to help preserve the legacies of much deserving women in R&B and men and just creatives in general, allowing them to share their stories and their journeys from their voices without it being filtered through a culturally incompetent lens or just sitting up. You know, this isn't me. It's so funny. I was talking about this tonight to one of the many dope ass. Shout out to Cordell. Cordell, I didn't even look to see. Usually Cordell will pop on. Shout out to Cordell Capone. Just, some really talented, decent, good people out here who really care about art and music. And Diary of a Diva is an offset of R&B divas, or a spinoff, whatever you want to call it, from the R&B divas universe. And boy, oh boy, when I tell you, I am so grateful and so blown away. Hi, TikTok. Hello, beautiful people. I'm sorry I've been talking and not looking at the stuff, but thank y'all for being here. Thank you, X, for being here as well. Thank you, Instagram, for being here as well. Thank y'all for watching Diary of a Diva. So my question for people who are watching Diary of a Diva: would you come to a live taping of Diary of a Diva, either in a small, intimate theater or a small, intimate space of some kind? Would you guys come out, or is it too early for us to do that part? Because I was just curious. I was talking to somebody and I was like, yeah, I wonder if, because we were going to do Divas and Cocktails live, which we still may very well do. But I was like, I wonder if that would resonate with people, because folks have been so kind of caught up on these computers and sitting up in the crib, not really getting out, building community. And I just would be curious. So maybe we'll do one locally in Atlanta, and see if you guys will come out and have a good time with us, and have a chance to be in the space with your favorite artists. I know y'all come out and support when the divas come out and sing, but would you support when the divas come out and sing a little, talk a lot? And again, back to what I was originally going to say. So I am in the comment section because, of course, the new segment is the VIP comment section, where we're going to address the commentary. And I see that there are some people who are just like, why you talking over your guest and da-da-da-da-da. I'm working on that, y'all. But this isn't a like, so what was it like to be a Jones girl? So what emotions did you feel when you? So on the album To the Moon and Back, 1979, filmed and recorded at such and such studios. This ain't what that is. This is a girl. Oh my God. That's a little bit more my zhuzh, right? Just very conversational and not like Q&A. And I know a lot of people refer to it as an interview, but it's not really an interview. It's a conversation, child. Just think of it it's like coming over to the crib, having dinner, having drinks, and talking. It's pretty much about the guest, but the host gonna have some commentary and some stories to share too. Now, maybe I will be more conscious of like just making sure I'm not stepping over somebody's thought and stuff like that. But listen, honey, I'm just now becoming Gayle King Wendy. Oprah. That wasn't even funny. I shouldn't even said that. Because I don't desire to be anybody other than I can only be me. I can only be me. City Winery, that's so funny. We had a whole City Winery conversation tonight. Someone who works with City Winery hollered at your girl tonight. Yeah, maybe like it could be cool. Let me get into my YouTube. I'm sorry. My YouTube people been talking. My YouTube people been on here. What up, Royce? I see you. I'm gonna send you a message on LinkedIn. Oh my God, I'm missing a lot of messages here. Biz Marky did Vapors. What up, Big Meech? You guys, one of my I was a member of an organization called La Troupe des Arts in college. In high school, and one of my thespian brothers are in here. We feel obligated to bring folks with us, but too often, Meech, damn it, I should have sent you a damn link. Damn it. Off topic, I was listening to Kelly Price's third album, her most underrated album. I'm in the comment section. I'm officially in the comment section. Let's see what happens. What up, UK? I see you in the comments. Okay. Hold on. Oh, I've been missing. I'm sorry. YouTube, TikTok, X. Hold on, I gotta go over here and open up my X page too, because X probably been seeing some stuff too, y'all. I'm sorry, I just been running my mouth. And I said this wasn't gonna be long. That is the surefire way for this to be a 5-hour live. For me to get up on here and say it's not gonna be a long one. Y'all was supposed to remind me not to say that. Hold on. Comments. R.I.P. to Dolly Parton. Yes, R.I.P. to Dolly Parton. Can you interview Martha Reeves on your show? I would love to interview Martha Reeves on my show. Absolutely. That would be a huge honor. If she will have me, I will definitely love to have her. Hey, Nicci, Sarah's brother. Do you remember when I came, Sarah's brother, to your mom's house on the west side of Detroit and sang Running Back to You? Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I'm old. Like hella old. Like 56. So some things I don't remember, but yes, I remember the song Running Back to You, I see you. And that probably happened. And I would be lying to you if I said I remember. However, it's so good to see you here on this live. Thank you for being here. But I don't quite remember because, like I said, I'm old. Another thing that won't change is bills gots to be paid. Exactly. Fame is a vapor, smoke and mirrors. Yep. Fame is a vapor. Fame is a vapor. Money has wings. Popularity is an accident. And the only thing that lasts is your character. Please understand that. Hold on. Let me scroll down these comments. What up, Royce Experience? Yes, we did talk about this a little bit tonight. Yes, we sure did. What? Wait a minute. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Preach and take your time. Thank you very much. Okay, La Trope, you know the formula Susan taught us. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going through the comments, y'all. I would definitely come out for a live pod. Okay, great. Wish I was in ATL. Maybe we can do other cities. Okay, great. Now we're getting towards the end. Okay. It's a bit too early for studio audience with Diary of a Diva. No, I'm not thinking studio audience. I guess it would be studio audience, Meech. But I was thinking like how certain people do live podcasts. It may be a bit too early, but like because, of the caliber of people that we have coming for the new episodes. Let me stop. All of the caliber of all of the people has been fantastic. But there are some people who I believe people will come out to see, who want to see them in person. But it would be a question of whether or not they wanted to do that or keep it here. Let's stay in a safe space for you and the sisters. Let the audience come out after. That makes sense, Meech. See, that makes sense. It's a conversation about how you feel and how your guests would feel. Exactly. Now, I'm not necessarily sure that we would go into like Q&A stuff. And of course, I said intimate, like a theater, that kind of a situation. And it would probably be a taping. I saw years ago, Oprah did her, is it the Best Life podcast or whatever? And she did it at where did she do it? She did it at, I believe she did it at the Apollo in New York. And my, oh my, would the Apollo be a great place for an our Diary of a Diva All Stars moment? Shit. Okay, I might be talking too much. Yeah. No, I'm not talking too much. It just, yeah, that would be a pretty solid place. That would be a pretty solid place. And we know people who know people. J Rock, what did you say? City Winery. City Winery. Yes, I keep seeing a lot of City Winery. I actually shout out to Royce. Royce is in here on the live tonight. Royce and I talked about City Winery. And we talked about City Winery for Diary of a Diva. So Royce has already thrown that out there, and we are already going to open up those conversations, which is why I wanted to ask y'all. And I looked on here and I saw Royce on here. The Jones Girl interview was everything. I love your interview style. It brings out more rare stories. Right. Thank you. Thank you, Antonio Dandridge. Thank you. I'm so glad that he said that, because that is what I was hoping people would be like. It's different. My style is different because I am just a little ghetto and a little unprofessional and I'm an artist too. So I'm like a kid in a candy store, and I can't contain my excitement sometimes, and I can't contain my desire to want to share. You're like me. I have ADHD, and when it's late, my mind goes ideas a million. Exactly. That part. Just all over the place. I get things done though. That is the difference. I'm very much the person who doesn't start projects and just kind of leaves them. I mean, I might leave them there for a minute, but I'll get right back to it. Exactly. I think that is lightweight genius, but there we go. You peed for the Shirley Jones episode. Oh, felt like big sister putting younger sister on. Yeah, gang, the parallels between not just, what is in my hand? I got something on my hand. The parallels of not just Brownstone and the Jones Girls, but think about it, you guys. There have been a lot of girl groups who have tragically lost members of their groups in a very traumatic, shocking way. You know, you think about, I believe it was Natina from Black. You think about Left Eye from TLC. You think about 702 and Lamisha losing both her twin sisters. Others, I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'm not going to start naming too many. But it's really, I mean, you know, Supreme's Florence Ballard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that has touched a lot of girl groups and guy groups as well, right? But there's it hits a little different. Hits a little different in the girl group situation, just because in addition to some of the other common tragic things that happen, we also, many of us have had to endure, you know, misogyny. If you're a lead singer in a group, like, nobody understands what that feels like except another lead singer in a group. Nobody understands what it feels like to be the other girl in the group who can sing her ass off but doesn't get as many opportunities because the lead singer sort of set the tone for it, and that's what people expect. So many nuggets and so many gems and so many things to extract from the Jones Girls conversation. And, you know, to hell with people who come on and have negative. So let's talk about that, getting into the comment section. Because, you know, as we get into this R&B Divas universe, which, again, for those of you who haven't heard me talking about it at every turn, let me say this. I'm going to talk about it more and more and more and more and more, because people scroll and forget so fast. And to the people who have followed me or heard me say shit, the same shit over and over again, 50, 11 million, 100,000 billion times, I apologize in advance. Please bear with your girl, because I really don't want to drive you batty by constantly reminding Natina Reed from Black. Absolutely. But people's attention spans are short, and every day someone new comes into the conversation, right? Alicia Myers. I would love. Oh my God. Y'all see, y'all be bringing up these names of these people. I would love to interview Alicia Myers. I would love to interview Angela Winbush. I would love to interview Karen White. I would love, but what I need y'all to do for me, what we need you to do for us at Worth TV is to like it, to share it, to subscribe it, to let the people know that the shit is dope, because we don't have a company sponsoring these episodes. We don't have a sponsor. We don't have an advertiser. We don't have a network. All we got is the talent that we have conversations with, our resources, very limited resources, especially for a sister recovering from still in debt from a whole 5-year litigation. I'm not playing the small violin. I'm just keeping it real. And we got YouTube. And we got y'all. And the more that you guys share it, the more you guys talk about it, the more people watch it, the more opportunities we have to pour into this platform. That's why it was so important for me to make Worth TV. That's why it's not the Nicci Gilbert channel. I think I got a Nicci Gilbert YouTube channel with about 3 followers on it. But the reason why it was so important for me to make this Worth TV is because that is what I want you guys to, that is what this is. Divine 9 TV, Worth TV channels are TV streaming platforms on YouTube. And we want to give y'all, like, what's crazy is people are watching From the Bottom Up reruns and like, oh, this show is dope. I didn't even know this show existed. It's such a great show. That's the show that I produced with Queen Latifah and Shakem. And, you know, it's amazing. We did 3 seasons of it about women who went to prison and have to rebuild their lives from rock bottom. And we're going to give y'all a new season. But you guys have been watching it. You guys have, like, this is a great show. You guys have watched The Diary of a Diva. You feel like it's a great show. I just need y'all to tell somebody. I just need y'all to hit like. I just need you guys to share it so that I can continue to do what I love to do. My first love is not being on a stage. My first love is not holding a microphone in my hand and being a singer. My first love ain't even running my mouth on these lives and being long-winded. My first love is creating stories and shows and ideas and concepts that help employ other people, give much deserving people opportunities for the spotlight, and serve our community in a way that not only are you entertained by what we're doing, but you are also uplifted, you are also inspired, you are also educated and motivated for some shit, because the older we get, the more seasoned we become, the more we realize that we need community. We need to be reminded of how great we are. Some place has to hold and preserve our stories, unfiltered by a culturally incompetent lens. Why do people who don't look like us, don't have our lived experiences, don't come from where we are from, have more power and control over our legacies and our stories than we do? If you want to know the truth about why people have such a problem with my motherfucking ass, there you have it. Because I am not going for the bullshit. And I know that it comes off a little harsh and a little unlikable and a little, I think I'm better than. That shit really gets on my nerves. You know what really gets under my skin? Sidebar going over here. That I think I'm better than somebody's shit. I don't think I'm better than anybody. You don't know my struggle, my life, or what the hell I'm going through as much as you may think you know, because I get on here and I share. There are far more things that I don't share that I'm going through than things that I do. And the one lesson I learned the hard way is that I don't think I am better than anybody. I feel like I am the same as the people that I'm trying to hopefully inspire and educate. But what I do have is I have pedigree, experience, longevity, and I'm really good at the shit when I'm allowed to just do what I do, and I don't have to be in litigations and beefs with people about the things that I create. See, this is the thing I want to get into real quick. I want to summarize. Thank y'all again. Diary of a Diva. Make sure you watch. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. I know that I'm a liar. Why am I a liar? Because I said I wasn't going to do a long live and I was going to get off in this motherfucker's long again. Just can't listen to myself for nothing. But we going to cook a little bit because I want to address this. And then I'm going to force myself off this thing. Hold on. Hey, TikTok, I see y'all. I have been neglectful to my ex audience. How is it possible to not have a little attention deficit disorder when you are simulcasting to 5 different platforms and you got a constant flow of people sharing ideas and putting things out there and saying things to you that you want to respond to? It's just, it keeps you all over the place. But I try to maintain. It's like, oh yeah, oh shit, oh damn. Okay, but let me say this. First of all, what I've been seeing, and I know I have to remind myself that a lot of times they're bots, or they're very young people, or they're people who are upset with me because P Valley's no longer on TV. Well, not that. Retract, that is not true. I did not mean to say that. I have to remember everybody's always watching. People are upset with me because they blame me for the delay in the P Valley situation. People are upset with me because they believe reality TV is real. I want to address the first commentary. Thing number one, and this is general, and I may have said this before, and if I said this shit before, then please forgive me for being redundant. I would never, could never, it is not how I'm built, work to destroy another person for any reason. Even as much foul shit has been done to me, I'm not a person who puts effort into consciously trying to hurt or disrespect or be jealous or envious of anybody. I don't want what anybody has, never have, and never will, because you don't know what else comes along with whatever you think you see or whatever representative that they're presenting to you. I am very happy being who I am, imperfect, awkward, loud, all the things. I love myself. I wouldn't trade who I am, what I am, for anything or anybody. There's not a bone in my body that wants to be anybody else. Now, do I want to have more resources available so I can help pour into more people? 100%. But if that is not my whole walk, it is just not my whole walk. So let's start off with that. The idea that your dark, terrible energy shit, because that is what you were convinced of, or that is what you saw. And again, you can't, I understand that I can't step inside your body and give you a perception of me. I understand there are a lot of people who don't want to like me, who are never going to like me. And you probably have a valid reason, because I probably wouldn't like you. And I've said that before too. But I want to make sure that those people who don't like me because of P Valley or because of what they saw on R&B Divas or what they believe, or their team Selena or team Monifa or team Juju Beaner or team P Valley or team Uncle Clifford or team The Pink or whatever the hell it is, or team Spin That, whoever you are, I want you to understand you're entitled to be that, and I don't ever expect you to change. But when you weren't in the room, when you weren't present, when you don't know personally anybody attached to the situation, when you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, you should walk softer in my comment section, because I'm going to bring you onto the stage and highlight your ignorance on the VIP comment section, which is going to be the new show we're working on. And I'm going to make it clear that the truth is the truth is the truth. And I get that we're celebrities, so we signed up for the exposure that we get. And I understand that not a lot of people like it. I've seen a lot of, I got a little celebrity group chat. And we talk a lot about how when you actually address these people in the comments. I said one of my favorite stories is when Chloe Bailey said people was talking about her looks and talking about what she looked like. And that baby said, let me go to your page and see what you look like. And she went to their page and saw what they looked like and started posting their asses that had pictures. And it hurt them people feelings and they retract or deleted their comments or went away. This isn't about turning our platforms into bully pulpits. This is about if you are bold enough to speak on something as if it is fact and as if you were there and you know what you're talking about, then you should be bold enough to join the VIP comment section, because that's my rebuttal for all of it. Let's talk about it. Let's state facts. And it's an opportunity because I've seen a lot of people either self-medicate. Like, think about what happened with Whitney Houston. Think about what happened with Michael. Like, people have leveraged the whole, oh, she gonna read you. Oh, you shouldn't be on such and such a platform. Well, you know, what happens when you have a platform too? What happens when you finally decide, you know what? Let's talk about it. So, get into the Monifa commentary, because we kind of all over the place. A lot of people have said that they feel, actually, it's really interesting because if you had a chance to watch it, some people are like, totally see Nicci's side. Some people are like, totally see Monifa's side. Some people are like, totally see both the ladies' side. Some people are like, I don't care. This is rehashed old drama. All of the engagement is engagement. But for those people who have said, and the reason why this is important is because I love Monifa. We're fine, right? I don't know that our friendship will ever be the same. I think a lot of time has passed and we just got, all of us have like a bunch of personal other things going on. So I don't think, you know, when you get older, shit, you be with your husband, you be with your family, you be with your kids. So it's not like we about to be like, girl, let's go to the club, or girl, let's go do whatever. If anything, it will be a working relationship, which is fine. An expired friendship is not a beef, they say. But let me be clear on this. The reason I had this conversation with Monifa, for those of you who are like, well, Mo apologized to Nicci, but she didn't apologize. But Nicci didn't apologize to Mo, or Nicci's needy. Why didn't Mo didn't know what Nicci was going through. And this is for those people, because I honestly believe that some of those people really believe what they're saying to themselves and in the comment section. So not all the comment section rebuttals will be mean and disrespectful. Some of them will be more like to like educate people or to like really let you know what it is. Thing number one, I will forever be labeled difficult or a mean girl or a bitch forever. That is going to follow me. Mostly with people who don't know me, who don't want to take the time out to get to know me and just want a reason to not like me, which is fine. If I'm forever going to be labeled difficult, if I'm forever going to, because every time I do an interview, pretty much every single time I do an interview or have a conversation or do a podcast, whatever, what they gonna ask me about, y'all? I'll wait. R&B divas. They gonna ask me about that. What else they gonna ask me about? They gonna ask me about P Valley. They're gonna ask me about all the salacious, you know, are you really a super bitch? Did you really? So I have the right, based on that being my story, to answer it truthfully, honestly, with transparency. I always try to be fair. I always try to be decent about it. I'm never really like dogging people out in the process, but it is my story to tell, and I'm going to tell it whenever somebody asks me in the truest, most honest possible way. There is no benefit to me telling a lie about my experiences. Now, maybe my interpretation of certain things has evolved, but the truth is the truth is the truth. So to people who believe that my conversation with Monifa, I was being selfish or I was being a mean girl to Mo during the conversation, right? I don't believe I was. I know there are a lot of other people who don't believe I was. This is for the people who believe that I was, because you have a right to your opinion and I'm going to respect it. When someone has done something to you, this isn't okay, you apologize, I apologize. I'm not going to apologize for something that I did not do. Even if you think, based on what you saw on the show, that I did something foul, I'm not going to accommodate your feelings by saying, Mo, I'm sorry for it, because then it would be like, what was I sorry for? The big thing is, but you left Mo in the dark. She didn't know that you were going through hell. And during that interview, you were so cold and whatever. I was very cold to Monifa for a lot of years. I was very distant, I'm not with you. And like she said, you weren't featuring me. I was not. And never, ever, ever thought I would have another conversation with her, because our friendship was so important to me, because I loved her on some real, like, this is my dog, this is my girl, because we experienced things together that many of you who don't understand why I was sitting there with my arms folded, sucking my teeth and so mad about things, don't know anything about. A lot of those things I didn't even mention in that conversation, but no, Mo knew about it. Mo knew what she did. And that is why Mo apologized to me. I'm not from the whole, you get a prize. Okay, so kiss and make up. She said sorry, now you say sorry. If I didn't do anything to say sorry for, I'm not going to say it. Even if you or a therapist or another person thinks that I did. What I'll say is I love you and I hope we can get past this, and I hope what you did to me never happens again. But I'm not going to apologize to anybody, Monifa, Selena, for something that I did not do. I feel like I am owed an apology by a few people. Whether you think because I feel like I'm owed an apology by a few people is me being a bitch and it's not your world and all this other stuff or not, I can't help you with that. What I can tell you is that those people who I believe that I'm owed an apology from, if they're honest with themselves and honest with y'all, it's that old saying, okay, now that you done apologized to me, tell the people you lied. Tell all them people that you talk shit about, tell them you lied. You've apologized to me, but tell them people you lied. It is impossible for anybody who watched R&B Divas to not know that I was labeled the villain or the bitch or the terrible person on the show, especially the women who were on the show with me. So for anybody who was my friend to say, I did not know that the press was eating you up. I did not know that the people, well, she knew the people asked, the folks asked my daughter to do something inappropriate. She knew the gun got pulled on my husband. She knew she was in the backseat of Rocky's car telling him to leave. All of those things. She knew she set up on a radio show and talked shit about me with Selena. All of those things. I'm going to land the plane here. I take my real friendships, not the business shit. Me and Selena have a business, even whether we have a business relationship after all of this, I don't know. But before R&B Divas, I looked at it like those were my friends. We were friends. We were getting to know each other. You know, those were friends because we were younger. We were more naive. That's when I really thought you could still have like real good friends in this industry. Once R&B Divas was over, I understood that this was an opportunity-based friendship. This was a loyalty-controlling, opportunity-based friendship from most of the people on the show, right? Because the way I view friendship is this. If we came in here together, unscathed, and rooting for each other, and respecting each other, and standing with and for each other, that is how we come out of it. And I realized that many times when I spoke up for or went to bat for or, looked out for the women that I invited and asked and was honored and grateful to see agreed to be a part of the show, I expect reciprocated loyalty. I expect if you know that a production company or a set of producers or people that are involved in something that you know what they did or said or tried was not okay, when you have the opportunity to decide who you stand with, you either decide I'm going to stand with my friend against the people who are doing what they are doing to her, which is not okay, or I'm going to stand with the people who are doing those things to my friend, which I'm just going to pretend like I don't see and I don't know about. And that is what I felt and still feel was what was going on with many of my relationships with women on R&B Divas. I felt like opportunity and loyalty went together. And I don't operate that way. Loyalty comes first, came, because we're in a different season. And most of the people I'm loyal to, I'm not working with at that level like that, except a very select few. My point is just, I don't know what kind of friendships or relationships you have. And this is, remember y'all, this is to the people who don't understand, not the people who do. I don't know what kind of friendships or relationships you have, but I believe that when someone puts money in your pocket, who truly loves and cares about you and wants to see you win, that is one of the realest things a person can do. And by put money in your pocket, I mean provides opportunities for you to change your life in a positive way. And at the very least, what that deserves is honesty and transparency and consideration at times when you see that person at rock bottom. Y'all don't know how dark and terrible and horrible things got for me on R&B Divas, because I tend to just kind of share some things, but not them all. It got really, really, really dark and really terrible for me and for my family, and some awful, terrible things happened. And I don't believe, with nothing in me, that Monifa, Selena, Kiki, Faith, Angie, and Latasha were not aware of the horrible things that I experienced, things that haven't even still to this day been mentioned publicly. They knew, they were aware, which is why Faith and Kiki always had my back, always stood with me publicly, spoke up and out for me publicly. How Monifa and Selena, who both of whom I was more consistently connected to and work with. Keep in mind, those are the two who did Soul Kittens with me in Detroit in 2007, which Soul Kittens is what became R&B. They knew more intimately how much I poured into that than anybody. And those two in particular are the two people that I have the biggest issues with from this franchise. Mo and I had an opportunity to have a conversation, and I shared with her my perspective. I have invited Selena to a conversation. I reached out to her team. They respectfully declined. I have nothing but respect for a decision to not sit across from one another and figure out what this is to determine if there's someplace else to go. But I also don't have a problem never having that conversation ever in my life. And that's just as real as I can be. I know that the fans of the show and the people who loved all of us and just want to see us kumbaya and get along and all of the things really want to see this happen. I see the comments. I have to kind of be in the middle of the comments to understand what it is. And I'm open to that. And I welcome the opportunity for transparency and truth. And this isn't about pointing the finger or you. Mo and I were different. Again, we were real, actual friends. And I was truly broken when I saw her response to what was happening to me. And I needed to tell her that. Whether y'all understood it all or not, loyalty is important. And knowing where, checking in on your people, checking in on your strong friend. You know, y'all knew. Most of y'all, if you were out around that time, knew based on the blogs and Funky, who is my people's now. You knew what I was going through. So for Monifa to say, I didn't know what you was going through, I didn't know all of that, I don't believe it now. I didn't believe it then, but I'm okay. Like, there's no, like, we ain't got to rehash. Ain't no part 2 necessary. I didn't believe it then. I don't believe it now. I don't believe she was unaware of what I was going through on R&B Divas, period. And I found it a little insulting that that was the story she was sticking to. But we're good. We could still work together. We could still show up for the reunion specials all down the lines 50 years later. Where are they now? I could show up in a room and do reunions and all that stuff with anybody. But I have a different perspective on what it means to have friendships in this industry. Loyalty is not a word for me. It is a way of life. And the way that I stood up for my sisters in song, whether y'all, and that's the thing, that's the kicker. That's the gut punch, is the way what Celine tell me, it's a special place in hell for a bitch like you dividing these women. I'm like, what? A source of division? Come the fuck on. You know that's a lie. Never been it, never will be it. I didn't bring everybody together to be a source of division. Everybody knew the hell I was going through. And let's just call it what it is. R&B Divas was at the time one of the most successful shows on television in the reality TV space, period. It was just that girl. The producers of the show, who don't look like us, realized early on that Nicci Gilbert Daniels was not one of them ones that you was going to pull one of them things with. And immediately started working to make sure that I was not a wedge in their plan to turn this into whatever they thought this show needed to be. The easiest way for you to dismantle a system of mutual respect and love and concern for one another and the desire for women to really succeed and the kumbaya, as they would call it, is to attack the leader. Now, technically, Faith was the leader, but in terms of the person who came up with the idea and the person who was going to say it, do it, show it, prove it. The big mouth girl from Detroit who going to tell it like it is. The friend that real ones like and fake ones hate. I know who I am. I'm the bitch a fake bitch hate to see coming. Well, I shouldn't have called myself that, but I do it all the time outside of this, so I'm going to do it again. I'm the bitch a fake bitch hate to see coming. But a real one understands where it's coming from, and that doesn't play in environments where you want division. The division did not, how is it that I had the power to divide, but I did not have the power to protect my own child and my own family on set? Where they do that at? So I will never be in an ensemble cast on reality TV in the capacity that I was in R&B Divas, because I just don't have the desire to do it anymore. And I don't really want to be in spaces where, you know, and not that I have to worry about it anymore, because as a owner of the IP, I have a little more power over my in-game narrative, but I don't want to disrupt what fans love, which is the show where women with different personalities and energies and whatnot come together and do something great. So that's part of the reason why we created the advisory board. That's part of the reason why I'm not, once this train gets going, I'm not really going to have much of anything to do with it. right? Once we've decided on who the first couple of cast members are, how we roll it out, I'm not involved in the day-to-day of R&B Divas. I'm over here producing movies and TV shows for Worth TV, YouTube, and Diary of a Diva episodes and all the things. I'm not going to be in that world, in that space on a day-to-day basis. I have people that I love and trust and think are fantastic who will continue to roll that ball out. And I want it to be fair. Like if people want to come and do the show, I don't want nobody feeling like I'm the wizard, because I don't think a wizard should exist in situations where you're giving people opportunity to tell their real stories and share their real shit, right? But I will say that people have said that there's some unresolved things that they need to see me and Kelly Price come together, or me and Selena come together. I'm not running from nothing. I'm not, dodging a dialogue. I don't want no mess and no drama. I'm not coming to be like, you did this to me and you did that and you did whatever. If there's an opportunity for us to tell the truth about what we were feeling, and I receive that there may have been things that I did that I may discover that I do need to apologize for. I just don't know what those things are, and it hasn't been presented to me that way. Mo saying you owe me an apology because you left me or you abandoned me or you didn't tell me what you was going through is not a justifiable reason for me to apologize, because, homie, listen, everybody knew, as you named 5 or 6 different things I was going through, that I was going through hell on R&B Divas. The whole world knew. So I'm not buying that you mad because I didn't tell you what the fuck everybody else knew. Sorry for those people who are mad at me for not apologizing for that, but I'm never going to do it. There may have been some things that I did, again, that I did not realize that I may owe someone an apology for, and I am wide open for that. But what I will do is speak up and tell a person, a coworker, a previous coworker, a former cast member, what I believe the disconnect was between me and them. And I'm going to work on the delivery and work on finding sweeter, kinder ways to just keep it real and tell the truth. But I'm going to say what I have to say if I'm in that space. And some people might not want to be in that environment with me because certain shit just don't age well. We grown. Let's call it what it is. Comments. We're in the VIP comment section. Prayers to you and your family. Thank you so much. We live in a catfish world. I'm late, maybe out term speaking, but I feel accountability was not taken by Mo. She was listening but didn't hear you. Dare say right. I don't feel like accountability. I don't feel like we got to go back and have another conversation or whatever. I just think that Mo's and I's relationship has been defined. So I don't need any more definition. Business only. I don't have a problem with the business. Business is good. Needs to become a session dish and tea with Big Meech because you hit something that needs to be discussed. Nicci has been on a few times. Okay, Big Meech, exactly. Hold on, yeah, I'm getting it. Hey, Nicci, remember when I asked you that very question at the studio? Your response was, folks don't know my hustle, nor do they see my vision as I'm wanting everyone to eat. Yeah, I mean, this has always been about everybody eating, and a liar will tell you that I wanted to cause division. That shit is a lie. And the thing is, I'm not really scared of nobody. I don't want no beef with nobody. I'm one of those people who does not, much as people think I like it and I walk towards it, I do not. I don't want beef with nobody. I like to laugh. I like to cook. I like to work out. I like to spend time with my family. I don't like to beef with people. But if the situation calls for it, I'm going to show up. And oftentimes show the fuck out. It's the Detroit in my DNA. Somebody said free your mind. My mind is free. Just because I'm talking about this shit, honey, this is engagement. This is what the people want to hear. My mind is free. I don't go to sleep wondering who don't like me. That doesn't happen. Very true. I can tell you why. Okay, hold on. Let me get into some of these comments. She owes you some money and apology. Don't nobody owe me no money, but I'll take the apology. Nicci, this conversation about you is really not necessary today in 2026. I promise you, you have too many things happening right now in the pipeline. Hello today. This is a good comment. It is relevant today. The reason why the conversation with me and Monifa is very, very relevant today is because every single time I do an interview, things like these come up. Also, the reason Monifa was posted was a celebration of the very first episode of Diary of a Diva. Also, we're working on a new season of R&B Divas. So you know the people like drama and they want to know all the tea and all the details. So we're going to leverage that and we're going to use it as engagement. I got a lot of things going on, but we still need eyeballs and engagement. And inquiring minds still want to know. I know you weren't being shady, hello today, but the conversation about me and Monifa is very necessary. And me and anybody else who's willing to have it. It's very necessary. I'm late, blah, 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 blah. Exactly. Right. I said we starting a new show called The Comment Section. T-shirt, life, loyalty is a way of life. Yep. I was just happy to see beautiful, talented Black singers. Exactly. I don't want to cause a divide with the people. That isn't the goal. I don't need the team Monifa to be over here and the team Nicci to be over here and whatever. That's not it. But let's be real about what's happened. For people to say the conversation between me and Monifa didn't speak for 12 years. You guys, we didn't speak for 12 years. Me and Selena haven't spoken in 15 years. So to say certain conversations about certain things are irrelevant, I don't understand. I don't get it. I understand there are people who did foul shit who would really like for me to leave well enough alone and let's just go get this money together. But I can't do that. I can't pretend like there aren't issues that have been frozen in time for the last 12 and 15 years that we have not addressed and just go make some money together today. Especially, this is where I'm about to give y'all some tea. And I've said it before, when there are people today actively working to sabotage R&B divas, ain't hearsay, ain't innuendo, factual information straight from the horse's mouth. When you are still working to sabotage this franchise and calling people and starting shit, when we ain't spoke in 11 years, and I've never said anything disrespectful about you publicly, it brings the conversation back to today. Because like I say all the time, I don't start the mess. But because I am so lean into it-ish, it appears as though maybe I am thriving off of it. No, I want the mess to go away and to focus on the future, which we're doing. But if we're in an engagement attention economy and you want some, I'm going to give it to you. Exactly. There shouldn't be a wizard. Exactly. Do you think From the Bottom Up New York would be perfect considering? Perhaps, maybe. I'm proud of you, sis. Worth TV as a producer myself. Thank you. I think your approach with reconciliation with your sisters and song. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it is so, Mr. Johnson. It is so. It is so. Somebody from the R&B Divas franchise, at least one person, I've heard maybe perhaps there are two, is actively working to sabotage what we are trying to build. And to you, I say, why, sis? Why? Why? Especially when you've been invited to resolve whatever underlying issue that makes you feel like you have to do that shit. Why? And here's the thing. Still not mad. Still willing to say, oh, you want to work on the franchise? Cool, have at it. Because I won't be there because I'm not going to be on the show. But why are we still in 2026 working to sabotage? Edgar, why are we doing that? It's not going to work. But why are we doing it? And then, the streets is going to be like, Nicci Gilbert just got, yep, show is. Show is. I say I hate the drama, but I'm not going to run away from the right to defend IP. If you don't know, now you know. I'm not going to run away from my right to protect my IP. I'm not going to discuss it, J-Rock. I'm not going to say who's doing it. But there's 2 alleged, 1 for sure. And my whole question is just why? What have I done or said, or what are you still holding on to from all those years ago that you got to pick up the phone and tell new people that are excited about doing the show that they shouldn't, for me, shouldn't do the show. It's going to be terrible. This is what had happened was. I mean, it's not important to know who it is because they know who I'm talking to directly at them. I wish you would stop. And I wish we could figure out a way to just move past whatever it is that I did, which is why I said, I'm not giving apologies for shit that I don't know I did. But if you're willing to sit across from me and tell me whatever it is that I did that keeps you trying to sabotage what I'm working on with this franchise, I'm willing to sit across from you and have that conversation. I don't throw rocks and hide my hands, and I don't run from conversations with people. And I'm not calling, no, I've never called somebody and said, don't rock with this person, or don't, even people y'all know publicly that I don't rock with. I have never worked to dismantle, to destroy, to screw up somebody's business, somebody's IP, somebody's property. I've never done that. And I don't understand people who do. Yeah. And I don't understand people who do. But the thing I know for sure is karma's a bitch. God don't play about good people. And I consider myself a good person no matter what certain folks think. And it has been shown in the past, not just with R&B Divas. Please hit like. Please hit share. Please hit subscribe. It has been shown in the past that when you come in and try to sabotage something that someone has the best of intentions for and take something from somebody and try to make it your own, it's not going to work. It's going to be over after a season or 2. I know. So dramatic. But it's a fact. Ask a couple people that have played games on my name and played games with the ideas and the content that I've created, how successful those things have been once I called out what they have done. God doesn't allow things to grow and mess. And if you've ill-gotten gains and working with bad intentions, don't really pan out like that. I'm not surprised you taking me back those stories I used to hear back in the 2000s. People do make calls to stop your work. Yep. Hey, Nicci, just saying hello. Going to catch the replay. Thank you so much, because you're a talented, creative woman full of energy and ideas. Yep, 100%. Looking forward to watching the new season. New chapter will be so much better because of the past experiences. Absolutely. And because I talk about the past experiences, it is for engagement. I'm okay. I get pissed off. When I have certain conversations with certain people, you're going to see how I really am feeling. You're going to see my thoughts, probably. Like people saw when I had the conversation with Monifa. If I don't believe you, you're going to know it. If I think you're on some bullshit, you're going to know it. And I hope that the real ones can appreciate that, because I'm not going to change that part of who I am. I don't see the reason. Okay, guys, it did turn into a 2-hour live. I know. How can I sit here and judge other people for doing things that are not cool when I just get on here and lie every time I get on live and say it's going to be not too long, and it turns out to be too long. But I appreciate you guys for listening. It is about engagement. It's the truth. I don't have a reason to make things up. Hopefully the people who were saying that I was lying about what production did with my daughter believe it now that they've heard 3 or 4 people from the cast validate what I was talking about. And hopefully we continue to have conversations about how we as a community can work together to build each other up and lift each other up, because I know that people thrive in the mess of all of our things. And here's the thing. This is the other thing. I have so many little messy pockets of like the R&B diva stuff and the P Valley stuff, like all these little messy things that are part of my story. Every time I want to talk about them, whole court, have a captive audience, share, I'm going to do that. I mean, what, I'm gonna talk about somebody else's shit? I'm not doing that. That's messy. That's truly messy. I'm not gonna gossip about what other people got going on when I got enough drama to gossip about on my own. Last thing I'm gonna say. Please quit saying that I am a clout chaser and I am irrelevant, because I show up on these blogs and on these platforms quite often just from sharing my old ass, irrelevant ass opinion. And the fact that you are taking time to type into a computer or a phone or whatever a message to me makes me relevant enough in your mind. And I appreciate that. And I'm not being funny. I sincerely appreciate it, because every time the name Nicci Gilbert goes into a system, whether it's Nicci Gilbert with her black gums and her knock knees, Nicci Gilbert with her new business idea, Nicci Gilbert with her beef with Selena Monique, and Nicci Gilbert this, Nicci Gilbert that. Hopefully what it does is it trains these little robots out here that we've been talking about to move y'all over and see what else Nicci Gilbert Daniels got going on. And once you get here to Worth TV, Divine 9 TV, to my Instagram, whatever, I pray that you get a little glimpse of who I am in real life, what I'm hoping to build for community, for longevity, for the future, because that's the most important thing ever. And the importance of us having community and ownership. I've been having this ownership conversation for 569 million trillion years. And I hope that if I have to be the bait, the tackle, the whatever it is, to reel a few people into this space, to dig a little deeper, to explore a little more, to ask a few more questions, to get more clarity from long-winded 3-hour lives like this, and hopefully connects community and connects dialogue and opportunity, and we can share things like Diary of a Diva, which is pleasant and light and positive, and all the other things we're building. I don't mind all the mess, because I know the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, all of it is temporary. None of it is going to be here that long. None of us are going to be here that long. And the most important thing you can do while you're here is share truth and authenticity and just be who you are and hope that it resonates with somebody. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the 3 people on Instagram. I'm grateful for 50, 60 people on YouTube, and about 30 people on TikTok, and who I have not been talking to my TikTok. I'm sorry. That's that focus I got to work on. TikTok, are you there? They like, you don't be, you are there. Won't be getting an apology. Right. Man, please. Ain't nobody finna apologize. Tell me what I need to apologize for, and let me decide if I'm going to give you an apology with my black gums. TV1 needs y'all back. I love TV1. TV1 stood with us on this franchise. I'm sorry, TikTok. I apologize, y'all. I'm sorry, TikTok. I just was talking and looking at Insta and YouTube. Hi, thank you for being here. Thank y'all for the compliments. I really appreciate the compliments. I do. Thank y'all for accepting me for me, as imperfect as I am. I really appreciate it, and I feel like I'm finally connecting and tapping in with our community, right? This is our community. I feel like I'm finding my people, and I'm very grateful to y'all for that. So please follow me on all platforms. Yeah, we got a little drama. Right. You said black gums, and my dentist said this is melanin. So I can't, I got dark gums. It ain't, I brush my teeth 3 or 4 times a day, and we good. We ain't got ain't no gingivitis or nothing. It's just melanin. And my knees kind of knock, but not, I think I got great legs. So I'm cool. Like I get a kick out of it. I do. I mean, it gets on my nerves sometimes because I'm reminded of that being the night that my husband got the pow pow pulled on him, so that kind of is a little triggering from time to time. But it doesn't. SpongeBob, knock knees, black gums. It's aged okay for me, because just like with so many other things related to that franchise, I know the truth. And I know the truth is that I have a great smile, black gums and all. And I know that I have great legs, knock knees and all. And as far as the SpongeBob thing is concerned, I like the fact that I have a build that I received from my mother, who was a beautiful woman. And I'm super healthy and 56 years old and married and happy. Get a little stressed sometimes, but I'm happy. So I don't get offended by dumb shit. But I'm definitely going to amplify the dumb shit in the VIP comment section. Coming soon. So thank you guys for watching me. Thank you guys for spending time on this long-winded ass live. I hope that I shed some light on a few things. I hope that the people who appreciate me for keeping it real and being honest continue to do that. I hope that the people who want to make comments and get answers, I know not all of them are nefarious intentionally, right? But I hope that you're excited about being addressed in the VIP comment section, which will be a segment on Nights with Nicci until we make it a real series on Worth TV. Please subscribe to worthtv.com. Please tell a friend to tell a friend that Nights with Nicci is back again. Please make sure you watch the episodes of Diary of a Diva. Now you can watch the show in a playlist. And thank you. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank you for feeling like I'm important enough to spend a little bit of time with, because in this attention economy, listen, we seeing a lot more people go live. A lot more celebrities are spending a few hours streaming these days. So I'm one of them. Okay, guys, I love and appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Be healthy. And thank you for spending your night with Nicci. Peace, love, and soul. Good night.